And welcome back to another episode of Double Dunk Podcast. My name is Brendan Deek. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Really cool episode coming for you. I am joined by offensive tackle from Syracuse. He is a NFL draft prospect, offensive tackle. Matthew Bergeron's with me. Matt, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Can't complain. So I do want to start here. So you were born and raised in Victoriaville, Quebec, and played hockey growing up. Now, I don't know if you got these questions from NFL executives, general managers, or whatnot, but I think this is a really important question to ask you is, are you a Montreal Canadiens fan?
Yeah, I was growing up. I was like, my room was like blue, white, and red. So yeah, I was. Every year we'd go to a game. So yeah, no doubt.
Oh, man. Well, you can see it in the background.
Yeah.
The Habs, the Montreal Canadiens, are definitely not a team that's welcome to my household, but won't hold that against you. So why don't we start with your childhood, Matt? So like I said, you grew up in Victoriaville, Quebec. Talk to me about your childhood and how you started playing football.
So I kind of tried different sports growing up. Whether it was ice hockey, basketball, soccer. I've been swam for a little bit, and then it wasn't my thing really. And my mom just threw me in football, and as soon as I got into it, not only the sports aspect of it, but like just having the social aspect, being with the guys, being with a group, on the field, off the field. We'll go to school together. We eat lunch, do a bunch of activities off the field together, and that's what I love about football, just playing for each other and being in a group that appreciate each other. And then starting I was like 14 and haven't stopped since.
So your first language was French, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how did you learn English? So what was the process like?
I was through school, growing up, I was always a little bit, good in English. Like I didn't struggle. And then obviously when I got to Syracuse, it definitely got better.
Yeah.
When I first got there, it was tough. Like I couldn't really communicate well, and I had a hard time expressing myself. But as the years went on and my English got better, and with COVID, I was stuck down there for like a whole year. So just being around English speakers 24/7, man, my English got better. And also my girlfriend is from Rhode Island. She's American, so just communicating with her, my English got better.
So you weren't really highly recruited until you went to a workout, I believe, at Syracuse. Can you explain the process of what happened with your recruiting stage to get to Syracuse?
So I wasn't recruited at all. Syracuse was my only offer. I went down for Syracuse camp. Syracuse didn't even know about me until I got to the camp. I went down to a camp to my school from Canada. They wanted me, to go down to a camp to compete, because they thought I had a shot. And they also, if it didn't work out, they just wanted me to have a feel for the competition south of the border. So I went down there, competed all day, had a great practice. And, when I first got there, I realized like, oh, it might be something I could do something with that. Like I might be one of the best tackles out there. And I just competed all day. And after practice, Coach Babers pulled me aside and we talked for a little bit, and he was like, well, why I never heard of you? Nah, like we need to get you an offer, but I got to do my research to make sure there's nothing that other schools know about you and I don't, and that's why they haven't offered you. So like 2 days later, he did his research, he called me and offered me, and I committed on the spot, and only took one visit, and it was at Syracuse, and a year later enrolled.
So that one workout changed your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Made the most out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, so you went to a CJEP program called Thetford?
Yeah, it was at Thetford. It's at Thetford Mines. It was like maybe an hour away from Victoriaville. It's like in the mountains. It's middle of nowhere. There's like maybe 15,000 people there.
I read that you were looking at maybe going to Laval. So full disclosure, I played university football at York University in Canada.
Yeah.
So Laval was, when I was there, Laval was like running the show.
It still is though. They just won the Vanier Cup.
Yep.
And yeah, so Laval was my dream school. Like I never thought I could play college football. So growing up, I dreamed going to Laval, and then I was getting recruited by them. When I first got to CJEP, because I was kind of a big name in Canadian colleges.
Yeah.
So I was recruited early, and so yeah, that was my dream school until I got to that camp and decided to go play college football.
That's awesome, man! What a story. So you were the only student, correct, at Thetford to ever get a D1 scholarship?
Yes, sir.
And so just looking at like the Canadians in the historic of the Canadians historically in the NFL draft, I was doing some research yesterday. So only 11 Canadians have been drafted in the first 2 rounds. 21 have been in the first 3 rounds. You are going to go in the first 3 rounds. What does that mean to you, man, to be part of this group?
I mean, it means a lot. Not only that, but just being able to say that I'm gonna get drafted. Like, I met a lot of people throughout the way that they can't say that. Like, just being in this position means a lot, whether it's the first round. Obviously, I'm a competitor. I want to go in the first round, but, the draft, you never know. Stuff changes. There's trades up and down. There's positions that get, picked a little later and that trickles down. And I really don't care when and where I'm getting drafted. I'm just grateful to be able to say that, I'm about to get drafted. You know what I mean?
For sure. How has the process been so far? I guess from your pro day, all that stuff. Give me what the last few weeks have looked like.
Oh, it's been a heavy schedule. Obviously after the season ended, I went to Senior Bowl and then Combine, and then went to Pro Day. And after Pro Day, a lot of interviews with teams, meetings. Whether it was at Syracuse, I started doing my visits as well. I have a heavy schedule with the visits, so I've been traveling all over the nation. But it's a good problem to have, and I get to see places I've never been before and meet coaches that they're like Hall of Fame coaches, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a good thing.
What have you changed in your workout, I guess, procedure or just your day-to-day life to kind of prepare for this?
So, combine training was more like speed work and change direction. But ever since that got, combine and pro day are over, like I've really been, getting in shape, getting and running like long distance stuff, because OTAs is right after the draft. OTAs and rookie minicamp right after the draft. So you got to make sure you go in there in good shape, because they're going to want to test you and you want to make a good impression. So I've been running a lot more, not really focusing on speed, just getting in shape, getting the cardio right, workouts, building strength back up a little bit. And yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. It's hard with the schedule, because the schedule of the visits, I might be, I don't know, in Arizona one day and in New York the other day, and I gotta find a way to, get a workout in. So it's tough, but you gotta make the most out of it.
So a lot of traveling. Yeah. Did you travel a lot as a kid?
Not really. I didn't take my first time taking the plane was like I was 17 and I went to Nova Scotia. I went to Louisville. Yeah.
I read that you at Syracuse, your parents weren't able to come see you play during COVID, I believe, because of those 2 years.
Yeah.
How close are you to your family, and how have they kind of been processing this and being with you over the last couple of weeks?
I mean, I'm really close with my family. We got a tight family, and obviously my freshman year in 2019, before COVID, they came to every home game, and then it was hard for them for the 2020 and the 2021 season with the border being closed to not come to the game. So it was tough for them and for me. And then 2022, everything opened back up, and they came to every home game. And they even took a trip down to Clemson when we played Clemson, and they took a trip down to Boston College, to catch up. And so it was nice having them, and they came to Senior Bowl, and they've been supporting me throughout the whole way. So it's always good to have them on my side.
How many brothers? Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, so I'm the oldest of 4. I got a younger sister, and I got 2 younger brothers.
Nice. Are you any of your younger brothers play football?
No, not yet. One of them is probably going to try in the next school year, and my sister plays basketball.
Cool. That's awesome. Athletic family. Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up. So I went to the Toronto Blue Jays home opener 10 years ago. Yeah. And they're selling this thing called a poutine hot dog. I don't know if you've seen this. It's been all a poutine hot dog, man. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look it up right after
this. So the thing is, it sounds good. But when I went there, it was one of the worst things I've ever bought from a stadium. The gravy was cold, the cheese curds were cold, the hot dog was cold. So maybe I just got the wrong hot dog. But you're from the land of poutine. It was poutine.
Oh yeah. So poutine was created like 10 minutes away from my house. So we got the best poutine in Quebec.
Nice. I've been to Montreal a bunch of times, and I've had some poutine there. It's truly the best in Quebec.
Yeah.
Okay, so back on football here. So you brought up you played Clemson. You brought up a game that you said your family went to see you at Clemson, and I was going through your game logs. You played some pretty high end pass rushers, especially in 2022. One of them was Miles Murphy. I want to I want to kind of grasp what your preparation was like, maybe going up against a higher end pass rusher like Myles Murphy, and how does that change your process going into a game?
Well, the way I approach the season, it's like you got to treat every week the same because, you can't just put all your eggs in one basket and like, oh, I got to prepare crazy because I'm playing Myles Murphy. You got to prepare the same way you prepare against BC or like another team. And, obviously when you play Clemson at Clemson, you got to change some stuff. So when we played Clemson, we went on silent count because the game was sold out. We were 6-0, they were 6-0, so we expected a lot of noise. And with that, as a tackle, you got to get a little bit more depth in your stance and the way you align because you want to be able to see both the ball and the pass rusher, especially when you're playing a guy like Myles Murphy. You don't want him to get a jump on the count, and you're behind. It happened once in a game, and it's like you don't want it to happen twice. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get your quarterback killed. So that was the main focus for me that game, is just being able to, get off the ball as soon as I saw the ball get snapped, and so I can be in control at the spot.
Yeah. What are some players? I don't know if I'm assuming you did this. We did it when I was at York. So I'm assuming you did it at Syracuse. You watched the higher end guys. So like if you're an offensive tackle, you're watching NFL pass rushers and whatnot. Was there like specific guys when you were at Syracuse that they were showing tape of, like, this is something you're going to run into the NFL level, like a TJ Watt or anything like that? Like, who are some pass rushers that you really studied to kind of help better your game at Syracuse?
Obviously, Nick Bosa is somebody that's like you gotta. I looked more into NFL pass rushers. I was getting into my senior year because I wanted to get like a kind of feel for it. So obviously Nick Bosa and Ngakoue, he got like the jump chop, whatever. Like you don't see that in college football, but that's something that like in NFL, like they getting paid a lot of money to get to that quarterback, so they gonna pull some stuff out of they. So yeah, that jump chop he got, that's something I was trying to study, and I had a private coach and we was trying to figure out any signs and stuff and when he's about to do it. So yeah.
Have any have you reached out to any maybe NFL offensive tackles over the last couple of weeks to maybe learn some stuff about the process or just in general?
So throughout the draft process, I was at an agency. I was trained out in Orange County, Rep 1, and they represent a lot of the tackles in the league. So I've been blessed to be in contact with them, and I was my private coach was Joe Staley from the 49ers, Hall of Fame tackle. So just having him by my side, and not only in a football standpoint, but him off the field, just giving me advice about life and how is it to be a professional athlete. And Abraham Lucas, who was right tackle for the Seahawks, who's all rookie team, was third round pick, and then Spencer Brown from Buffalo, Garrett Bowles from Denver. So just being around those guys every day and just seeing how they work, how they think, how they watch film, also and how they break down rushes, it was pretty good. And then Brian O'Neill was there from Minnesota, so just being with those guys, it was good to be in that company.
Man, that's a squad of players right there to learn from.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. How many teams have you spoken to so far?
I mean, I've spoken to every team. Senior Bowl, I had an interview with all 32 teams. Combine, I had over 20 interviews, and I got like 10 visits right now. So I've been meeting with a lot of teams, and I've been getting good feedback. So there's not a team I haven't met with, and so it's been good.
This is a Double Doink podcast, so I gotta ask you. I'm an Eagles guy. Have you met with? You were on a top 30 visit with the Philadelphia Eagles, correct?
No, I didn't meet. I didn't have a visit with the Eagles, but I had a combine interview with them.
Okay. Have you met Jeff Stoutland yet?
Yeah.
How was Jeff?
He's how can I say that? He's intense. Let me just put it that way. He's intense.
Yeah. He's a Philly legend, man. Eagles fans loved him. I would love to see you on the Eagles offense line. I think it fits your skill set really nicely.
Yeah, and they got a good squad. Just being able to learn from all those guys, all those vets, it'll be a good thing. But we'll see. But yeah, coach was definitely intense. We had a good meeting.
That's great to hear, man. What position? So I don't know if you've seen this. Like you're kind of in offensive tackle ranking, and you're also been put in inside offensive line ranking. So I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you check the media, but Chris Sims has you as his second interior offensive line ranking. Are you open to playing in the interior, or do you just want to play left tackle?
Well, I'm gonna play whatever the team. I want to win games, and I want help the team win games. So whatever you need me at guard, I mean, I'm grateful. Let's put it that way. I'm blessed enough to have a body that can, do both. Not a lot of guys, you know, can do both, and that's a plus for me. If I want to play 10, 15 years in the NFL, just being able to be available at both positions is going to be good for me. But if you ask me where I want to play left tackle. But obviously, if a team has a need at guard and they want me in there, I'm gonna go in there and compete to be the best. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay, Matt, we're going to finish off with a rapid fire questions. I want to learn more about you.
Let's do it.
When you get drafted, I want the fans to watch this and kind of learn more about your personal side. So you ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right, hit me with your favorite food.
Poutine.
Poutine, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite movie and TV show, so one of both.
My favorite TV show is The Sopranos.
Okay.
And my favorite movie is the original Fast and Furious, the first one.
Yeah. Did you watch The Wire at all? I'm a huge Wire guy.
I did when I was younger, but I forgot some bits and parts of it, so I gotta watch it again.
Tokyo Drift is also my favorite Fast and Furious movie. But
yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite artist?
Drake.
Drake. Okay,
yes,
a little
sir.
Canadian action. Are you a Lil Wayne guy at all? Lil Wayne's my favorite rapper of all time.
Yeah, I like Lil Wayne, no doubt. I love Lil Wayne. Yeah.
Man, I was on a radio hit the other day, and they were asking me about, because I tweet about Lil Wayne, and they asked me about I could listen to No Ceiling, Sorry for the Wait, Carter 2, Carter 3 for the rest of my life, and that's the only stuff I need, man.
You wouldn't get tired of it. There's just so many songs. There's just so many hits and bangers that you can listen to Lil Wayne for every day, rest of your life.
So what's your go, if you're playing for a big game? So for instance, against Clemson, that was a massive game. What's a song that you're listening to get pumped up?
I like Lord Knows from Drake and Rick Ross. I think the lyrics. I'm more of a lyric. I love listening to what artists talks about. It gotta be how to say that, motivation. How to say that? It gotta be a motivational. Yeah. It can't be talking about nonsense, like drugs and stuff. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody tell me to be great, and so yeah.
Hit me with some other favorite artists you got then. Drake. Who else you got? Lil Wayne.
Meek Mill.
Yep.
Meek Mill, Philly guy, and then Lil Baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Dreams and Nightmares, man. That song has a special place in my heart.
That song's a banger, man. You play it at a party, and it's a banger.
For sure. Who is your favorite NFL player of all time?
Favorite NFL player of all time?
Yeah.
I love Saquon Barkley. Because I started watching the NFL late, because here back when we didn't have the channels for it.
Yeah.
So when I got to Syracuse, that's when I really got into NFL. So Saquon Barkley is definitely up there for me.
Did you snag a favorite team while you were at Syracuse when you started watching, or
the Giants?
Giants?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe you just fell a little bit on my draft board there. I don't
know. You can't blame me. It's in New York then.
Yeah, I'm just playing. Okay, this one's a weird one, but what's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? I hate animals.
You hate animals?
I hate them to the core. I can't stand dogs and cats and birds and all those pests. I can't stand that. If I had to pick an animal, it'd be a monkey.
A monkey? Okay. That's good.
Yeah. Because I love Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. So yeah.
Sometimes when I'm bored, I just like going down animal video rabbit holes on YouTube, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hippo guy lately, man. Hippos are nuts, man. I'm telling you.
All right, I'm gonna go on YouTube and tap in.
It's like my 10 o'clock at night before bed thing I like to do. Okay, so you are like we talked about. You're going to probably go in the first 3 rounds, maybe top 2. You're going to get an NFL contract that's going to have some money on it. Is there something that you have set in stone that you want to buy with your first NFL contract?
I want to pay the house off, my family. That's a big thing for me.
That's awesome. That's the way to go, man. Okay, what's a fun fact about you that people don't know?
Usually people don't know my first language is French.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you were stranded on a desert island for a month and you can only bring one item, what's that item you're bringing to that desert island?
Damn. You know what? I'll bring a gun. Cause look, you can hunt and you can do everything. You can protect yourself from other tribes and stuff. So I'll bring a gun, because if they're on the island, the desert tribe on the island, they don't have guns. So you got the upper hand on that, and you can't hunt. So I'll bring a gun for sure.
That's a good answer. Yeah, that's a popular answer I've seen on the internet for those questions. So
yeah,
it's a good one. Okay, this is a little more serious. If you could go back and tell your 10-year-old self one thing, what are you telling your 10-year-old self?
Keep going. You know what I mean? Like everything's been good so far. You know, I always believed in myself, and you know, even though sometimes at times people, you know, told me otherwise, told me that I wouldn't, you know, make it or it wouldn't be possible. Just you know, tell myself to keep going, not listen to the outside noise.
Mhm. Okay, last one for you. So, like we brought up, you went from Victoriaville, Quebec to Syracuse. Big jump, kind of a new world to you. What was your welcome to the NCAA football moment?
So it was my first fall camp in 2019, right? And I was on the second team, and then the right tackle got hurt in practice. So they're like, "Yo, Bergeron, move up." So I go in. It's literally my first rep ever, like with the team one. And there we had this DN. His name is Alton Robinson. He's with the Seahawks right now. He's a 5th round pick, and so he get off the ball. It's a pass, but it's like a 5-man pro. So I sat and he get off the ball and he put his arm right through my chest and just put me down on the ground, right down on my ass, and got to the quarterback. So that was my welcome to college football
Yeah.
moment.
Matthew Bergeron, offensive tackle of Syracuse, NFL draft prospect. Thanks so much for doing this, man. Really appreciate it, and have fun at the draft. Enjoy the day and soak it all in, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man. It's been good.
No problem, man.